So what this is, I've just logged in now. I'm a system administrator, which would basically be your people at the top. If you have like a help desk or IT people that set this stuff up, that would be them. There's also other roles within this. So we have two programs on our one, an early years and a Senko program, which are these two. So we have admin teams that run each of those, and they have a role that's called course admin, which basically allows them to, they don't have as many permissions as the top one, but they can, add people, add bits of work. They can mark bits of work on behalf of markers and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that works quite well. So we also have a lead marker role, which I will show you when you go to add person. So these are at the moment there's a lot of this hasn't been rolled out just yet. So there's a lot of test users and that sort of thing on here. But when you add people, you can either add with a CSV file, so you write it all out as a spreadsheet. If you've got 50 people to add, you don't want to be doing that individually, sort of thing. So you do a spreadsheet with everyone's names and email addresses and where they're going, and then it does it all in one go. But you can also add people individually just from this screen.
Right.
So I'll just show you these roles real quick. There is so you put in your organisation, which you'll have set as the admin. Course administrator is the admin teams that overlook the individual courses. So participants is the students.
Right.
There's a marker role which we have as personal tutors. So basically they can mark the students' work and add feedback and that sort of thing. But there's and they can see a lot of what the students have done, but they can't do too much outside of that.
Okay.
We also have lead markers, which is like a senior marker who looks after the course and may have 2 or 3 markers under their wing. So and basically what these are is different levels of visibility. So the higher up you go, the more you get to see of all the stuff under you. See what I mean?
Yeah.
There's also this assessor role, which the course is split into. Actually, I'll get to that bit in a minute. But basically, one of the things one of the streams of work is the academic writing. So if you want someone to be able to mark academic writing, you basically tick that one. And we also have a QA role, which means if you have people you want to show the system to, but you don't want them to be able to, it's like a read-only view. Basically, they can see everything, and if you've got people who moderate the content for you and that sort of thing, you can let them see it, but they're not able to actually change anything. So that can be quite helpful, sort of thing. So I'll show you. So Tim showed you the student view. Is that right? That's this one here. This is just a test. User. So basically, they've got all their standards there. They've got their progress in these graphs on the right, and these are interactive as well. So you can click on. Here's the key here: awaiting marking, work that's marked, work that's drafted. And if you click on each of these, it sort of filters it on this side to show you just what's in that list, sort of thing. So that can be quite helpful. So yeah, so Tim would have showed you this bit. This is where they upload the contributions and you can also message your marker. I will show you I'll show you a course admin view, because they can basically do everything that the markers and lead markers can do and a little bit more. So we'll cover more. We'll cover more with that. So that will be if you have someone like maybe back in an office somewhere that sort of runs the admin side of the course, but isn't involved in the marking in terms of they're not making the decisions. But say a marker comes to them and says, "Oh, I said this stuff was evidence when what I meant was it was partially evidence," that they'll be able to go in and make those sorts of changes, sort of thing.
Okay.
Please stop me if I'm rambling or sort of skipping over anything you want to go into, or if you want more explanation on anything.
Okay, thanks.
Right, so this is what a course administrator will see, similar to what a marker sees, similar to what a lead marker sees. In a minute, you'll see the same view as what the student has, but this basically takes it back a level and gives you a list of all your students within that course, sort of thing. So for each of the students, you can go in, you can check their email addresses and phone numbers, and like things aren't added here, but they will be. You can see what you can see. Oh, bless you.
Excuse me, sorry.
That's okay. You can see what groups they're part of. You can see any markers that have been assigned to them. So, like I said, with our courses, we have personal tutors. So this test user A, another, and Deborah Fielden is their personal tutor. These are all. This is because basically there's 4 on there because I've been playing with the assessor function, but this shows who's assessing their academic writing as well. So you can. You can also go into their portfolio. So you basically get the same view as what you've seen before. You're able to view all their standards. You click this review bit to see things more in depth. But here's the difference.
Can you just stay on that one a little bit more?
Yeah,
okay,
of course.
Right.
Of course. So all the standards listed here, they're broken into the 3 streams, which is ePortfolio evidence. It's observations, which the markers upload. Basically, it's feedback sort of thing. If you go and watch someone in their setting or whatever, and academic writing, which is their assignments that they upload. Now what we've actually got, I'm showing you the EY model at the moment, but we also have a Senko model where these 3 aren't split into 3. So I don't know how, because it's for a Senko course, is it, that you're looking for it? So what might come in handy? I don't know how your one's set up, but with ours, the EY is split into 3 different streams. So you add work to your evidence, you add it to your observations, and they're kind of treated independently. Whereas with the Senko one, you just get one graph, and that is all of your learning objectives, and whether you meet them by observations, by evidence, or by assignments, as you tick them off, it's one combined view that goes up. And then with our course, basically, once you've met them all, you've done the thing, sort of thing. So I don't know. So that's something the system administrators, when they set it up, there's a tick box basically that you can either have them individual or you can have them combined. That's all that is. So on this side here, this is each of your standards. We'll look at 1.1. The first section here is ePortfolio evidence. So here is submissions that someone's made towards their ePortfolio evidence. They've uploaded it and said, I think this is a 1.1, and then they've uploaded several bits here, which is why each of these submission headings is a separate bit of work. That said, you can upload multiple documents to one bit of work if you want. You don't need to do each one individually. It's just that they've done, for example, one of these on Monday, one of them on Tuesday, one of them on Wednesday. So they're showing up separately. As the tutor, you can click the teacher or the assessor. You can click on the document here, and that will download it. So basically, that's a test Word document I've uploaded there, but that'll download it so you can see what they've wanted. And it's not just Word docs; it's Excel, it's images if they've taken photos of work they've done or photos of the classrooms, that sort of thing. It's zip files if they zip everything together because they've got 50 photos and they don't want to upload 50 things. You can pop them all in one and pop them up there. So this also, sorry, so this is all submissions for the evidence, and then the next section down is observations. This is what the tutor or marker will have sent back as a bit of feedback, and again the student can click on it and read it, but it's not the difference here is it's not something the student uploads. It's something that the marker will visit them at their settings,
okay.
say how they've done, and then and then send it back to them. But the reason for doing it is they can also set these they can also set it by standard, and it basically goes towards their overall work that's being collected on here. Same with academic writing. I'll just show you this bit really quick. So we're in as a system administrator at the moment, but markers and the sort of senior markers can also do this. If you see something where someone's marked it, in fact, I'll change this one here. So that could be evidence, say. So that's gone through the first set of marking, and the marker's gone, I've looked at this submission, this bit here, for the baby's work on 1.1. I think you've evidenced it. If a senior marker or course admin goes through and goes, I don't think that's right, or if for instance they say, oh, you've got your 1.1, so we'll mark all of those, and then the senior marker goes, oh well, you did have it for babies and toddlers but not for young children, say, they can go in and change the grade. Basically, it's as simple as just clicking the different bit and say, actually you didn't get that one, sort of thing. And then the background color changes in response to the mark. So if your evidence, you go green. If you've got some aspect of it that's not evidenced, it goes red.
Yeah.
There's one more function on this, and that is this override. And why this was brought in is because the system calculates your grades based on the individual bits of work being done. So if you upload 5 and you get evidence for all those 5, and it will go green, it will say you've done it. And what the lead markers have asked for is the ability to override that. Say they uploaded 3 bits of work in which they didn't meet one, partially met the second, and did meet the third. The system would then go, oh, well, you did meet the third, so you've completed this one. This bit gives the senior marker the ability to go, well, no, you didn't meet those others, so I don't feel you have met this yet. And they literally just click here. They say what they think. It allows a sort of human element of it to it, basically, and then you can add notes here just to say, here's why I feel you haven't met this, and then they can continue that. So that's what it is with that. They can, so this you're in as the course admin at the moment. You can message the trainee, send them some information. You can message the marker and send them info. You can view that. So I said there's a quality assurance role, like a sort of some other sort of moderator. They can add notes to this student's profile. The senior markers and the course admin can read them, but the student won't see them. So it's not, you don't have to worry that, say they've said something that was, I don't know, the student would take negatively or whatever. It's not for that. This quality assurance aspect of it is for, I guess, for the admin side, so the students don't see that bit. But it just allows us to sort of add, keep comments with each student and allows the markers and the admins to kind of to see what's happening with that.
If you click onto those tabs at the top, just so Eportfolio observations and academic writing, that's just to break it down individually.
That's right. So this is your overview showing it by standard. So there'll be repeated bits of work in it. Say you upload a document and you say it's a bit of evidence and I think it's 1.1 and 1.2. You will then get it listed under 1.1 and also 1.2 all the way down here.
Oh, they're all down there. Look, okay. Yeah.
So there will be So to see the 1.2s, you just hit review on that one, and then you get the same screen again. But
what are those numbers? 50515. What are those numbers?
Oh, I'll show you that in a bit. That's a system that we've implemented as part of the framework. So we've set up what we want each section to be called. We've set up how we want each how we want each standard to be shown. So you'll have complete, control over that stuff. I'll show you that in just a second.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically these tabs at the top, this splits it by standard. These just show you your individual bits of work, basically. So rather than repeating them, five times on the overview, it just says you've uploaded this, you put it against standard here and here. People can open it if they want. They can they can delete the file. They can change the standards on it. So if the say the marker marks it and says, well, they claimed 1.2, but it's also 1.3. At the bottom of this list is the standards that they claimed against. They can say, well, I think it's also worthy of 2.5. So you click these attributes, 2.6, and then you save it at the bottom, and then it basically adds more standards to an existing bit of work. Observations is where they can download. Again, it groups together all the observations. There's only one at the moment, but the student can download them. Again, the markers can change the standards on them. They're also listed by type, and again, I'll show you that in a minute because we can change that within the framework. Same with academic writing, and there's also this additional bit which we've had put in. We don't use this at the moment, but if you ever wanted another bit of work to be uploaded that the student can get feedback on, but that doesn't contribute to the standards. So if it contributes to the standards, it's going to be a bit of evidence, an observation, whatever. If you literally just have, some sort of learning journal that you're not going to get marked on it, but you might want to upload it so that we can send you back feedback on it. It will go in this section here. So what I'll show you now, really quick, is the system admin view, which is basically when you're setting up the courses, and it will cover a lot of those little bits that we just looked at. If you're a course admin or system admin, so no one below that, none of the markers or the students, but the course admins and system admins can masquerade as the other roles or as the roles underneath them. So if you want to see, if you're a system admin and you want to see what a student sees, or you want to upload something on their behalf, you can go in and actually kind of be them, sort of. Here we go. This is fine. So these are the frameworks. You set up your organisation. So we've just got the one. This is us at best practice. But again, if you have, if you're running for some reason multiple organisations on one system, they'd be in there. These frameworks are the bit where we set everything up. So this is one set up for our early years. So we've called it Early Years 2015. There's two options with this completion type, and it's sort of set because of the two courses we run. With the Senko, they have a system where once you've ticked off all your standards, you've got it. Basically, it's fairly simple. You just upload your work, it gets marked. You hit, I think there's 55 LO, something like that. Once you've got 55, you've got it. With this EY one, it actually allows for, again, a final sort of decision to be made by the markers. So when you edit this, you just either, there's a drop down menu and you either have final judgment or you have completed LOs as the thing. So all it is this final one. Basically, the students, once they've met all their standards, they upload work that the mentor will make a final decision on, and then they get a response based on that. The Senko name and version. So here's the all standards. It literally just means when the student hits 100% on everything, a notification is sent to the course admins that says, look at so and so's work, they've met it all, sort of thing. So that's how they get notified. Here are the individual streams: Eportfolio, which is uploading the evidence; Observations, which is feedback from the markers; and Academic Writing, which is the assignments. You can switch any of these off if you only want to have a system that runs, Eportfolio evidence, and that's it. You don't have to have the others.
Okay. Yeah.
So on these, so one of these that's worth noting is you can fix the standards on observations and assignments. So here's the details of it, sort of thing. So we've inputted all of this, and you'll be able to change any of this how you want. We've got our Senko bit set up with 10 sections, with a title for each. Within those 10 sections, so we number them 1 to 10. Within those 10 sections is the standards. So we've got 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. 2.4, all the way down to 10 at the bottom there, 10.3, 10.4.
Yeah.
This is the that has the the bulk of the learning objective information, what someone's marking someone against, basically. Does the bit of work they've uploaded, enable we have, here we go, so here's the marking scale. So we use ours as, have they met it, have they partially met it, or not met it? So that's what the markers tick off each time they're marking a piece of work. Again, you can have these called what you like. That's all fully editable. Here's observation types. Now we use two. We use one for the face-to-face courses. Basically, when a student attends a face-to-face course with a mentor, the mentor can go, I've seen you, we've chatted about this, I've seen you do these things, therefore I know you've met standard 1.1, standard 1.2. Do you see what I mean? They can sort of say what they've met, and you can fix these standards. So when a marker goes in, all they need to do is upload a bit of feedback against this face-to-face thing, and it automatically allocates 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. It just cuts out. It just means people aren't sort of clicking through. Say you've got a day and you've met 30 people. You don't want to have to go through and click all those individual things, but you can go through and say, I met, Stephen, he got his face-to-face. I met, Edwina, she got her face-to-face, sort of thing. It just keeps it easy like that. But you can add further here. So we've got two, but you can add as many as you like as the observations. You can either fix the attributes or not if you want them fix the standards or not if you want the markers to be marking off individual things. Then that's fine too. Assignments work in much the same way. So for our Senko one, we just have two pieces of action research and reflective accounts. But again, you can add 10 or 20 of these if you like. And with our Senko system, we don't have the standard sort of preset. But again, you can do that if you want. But how ours is at the moment is they're not preset. So if a student uploads a piece of action research, the student will have to say, I think it's this, I think it's this, I think it's this sort of thing. But you can set them if you like. Credits is something we use in the Senko course that we don't use in the other one. So when they upload their academic writing, they can say, I think it's worth 15 credits, 30, 45, 60. You can add, whatever you like there. Grading, it doesn't come into the Senko one. This is to do with when you're looking at the early years. If you do the final grading bit, the final judgment bit, you can then say pass, not pass, whatever. But we don't use it with the Senko thing, but it is an option you can use. And the final bit is just the taxonomy, just the language used within it. We call our assignments academic writing. So we've got that there. We call our standards learning objectives. We refer to the Eportfolio as an Eportfolio, but you can change that to whatever you like. We call the students candidates, but if you call them trainees, if you call them whatever, you just edit it in this bit here and save that, and that will then, wherever that's mentioned within the portfolio, it will change it to whatever your organisation's language is. Basically, it just means if they're used to calling their assignments essays rather than academic writing, you can have that. That is I believe essentially it. If that helps. Would you? Is there anything specifically you'd like me to go over?
I've got a couple of questions which you might not be able to
Sure, of course.
help me with. Do you give your candidates any training on how to use the ePortfolio?
So yeah, there is guidance, documents that are sent out. We do a lot of stuff through sort of screen grabs and bits of video and that sort of thing. So I mean, that would probably be something to speak to Tim about, but we could certainly provide you with bits and pieces.
No, what I meant is for your trainees. Do you provide them with any, just as like a guidance document on how
Sure.
to find
how do you upload a bit of evidence?
Yeah.
How do you view your
navigate?
Thing. Sure. Again, so yeah. Again, we've got some work and that we do that's sort of branded with ours and that sort of thing at the moment. But I think I'll speak at this end, but we can certainly provide you with something, I'm sure.
Okay. Do you get any feedback from the trainees, from the candidates, as to how easy they find the system to manage? How the system works?
Well, just at the moment, we've not yet fully rolled it out. So our testers have given us good feedback. It's quite an intuitive system. We use it alongside other learning environments that we have in it, and it works in pretty much the same way. So there's a fluid transition between the two. So we've had good feedback so far. We'll get more feedback when it gets rolled out fully, but so far it's all been positive, and that's from the students or the test students, but also the markers and the lead markers, the people that are going to be in there daily, updating things and ticking things off and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's really.
When's it going live then? When's it going live?
So it's it's within the next week. Like Monday is the Monday's the go live date for all our courses. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So it's a very new system then.
It is. That's it. It's replacing an existing. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Anyone that gets on board will be the first to have it, really. And it's replacing an existing system that we've had. So we've taken all the best bits of what's worked previously, improved upon, and we're really happy with this one and how it's how it's shaped up and going to be implemented, basically. Yeah, it's going to be good.
So what you did have an ePortfolio before, but you've launched a new version. Is that right? Is that right?
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So if you're in what's it called, Canvas?
Yes.
Can you sort of link seamlessly between the two, or do you have to put in a different password, or what's the process?
There's a seamless bit of integration. So that's exactly how we have some of the students here. They have a Canvas profile. You click on a link to go to your ePortfolio, or within Canvas there's the individual assignments listed. You go to your assignment. I want to upload my action research. Click the button, and it will take you straight through to the portfolio. There's a bit of code that gets put in at the admin end, but it means that the students see no difference.
Okay.
And even the styling of this one has been done to mirror Canvas in some ways, so it will feel like it's part of a similar system.
Yeah. Cool. So is there any issue with how many capacity in terms of how many candidates it can run or anything like that?
Hi there. I'm Peter. I'm the IT manager here. I was just stepped in just for a sec. We've basically it's hosted on our own cloud server, which is completely belongs to us through the company that we use. So it's not shared hosting or anything like that. So we have enough space on that for quite a lot of files. I mean, we've got our older ePortfolio is also has used that. So as the space for that is cleared down, like this will take over the other space. So it's not going to fill up too quickly in terms of it's the space that we've got there, because there's tons of it, and if it comes to it, we can always get more anyway.
Okay. Well, great. I can't think of any other questions right now, actually. That's been really, really helpful. I didn't realise it was so new for you. Sorry about that. I thought it was something that you'd been working with for a while, but oh well. I hope the launch goes well then. That's quite nerve-wracking.
That's good. I mean, so we've had this previous system, so this is an update to what we've been doing already. But it's a new look. We've been able to improve on lots of parts. So yeah,
we took everything. We took everything that worked and the way, because the reason we built the first portfolio was because I think that was about 5 years ago now.
Right.
And when we built it, it was because we couldn't get anything off the shelf that would help us. Initially, it was for the Nasenko program, because the idea was that we could. They had a list of outcomes to do, and we needed a way of them to sign them off sort of one by one. And no e-portfolios out there really do that. They're just more a space for uploading files and sharing files for other people to make comments on and things. There wasn't that element of actually being able to mark off against a framework. So we've taken all of those things and changed really the way that we've done it. It used to be Rails based, it's now PHP based. So it's a lot quicker, it's a lot more responsive, and while it retains the core functionality of what we've had before, it's actually added all the additional things that we've always really wanted onto it. So over the years we've been able to increase what we've been doing with it, and I think this is the next big step that we're really happy with. It works really well.
Sorry, can I just clarify that then? You don't think there's many other e-portfolios out there that you can just sort of click off the criteria against what you're trying to achieve, or demonstrate within the portfolio?
Not necessarily in the same way. I mean, obviously since then things have changed, and there are more products on the market. But in terms of for what we wanted and the programs that we do, it's very easy, because it means that then you can have people that are marking stuff, and they pick those standards up one by one. You know, so it was a way of actually speeding up the workflow for the markers, because when we were doing it, it was just huge long sheets and templates and things to try and tick off the LOs that would just, it would take hours to do the paperwork on it. So we actually it was dropping that down from, you know, like half an hour to mark a handful of learning outcomes to a couple of minutes. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why it was so long for people to do stuff. But you know, I think there are things about, but I don't know. I think even still now, the way that this works, when you explain it to when I was speaking to developers to take on this next stage of work on this, I was like, it's like an e-portfolio. And they go, oh yeah, no, we've done e-portfolios before. Like, okay, and then you start explaining what happens when you mark off the standards, and they go, oh, okay. Well, no, we haven't done that before. So that's the difference. It's about really setting that framework. So it's automating as much of it as you can, both from the candidate side where they tick something, then it means that it goes through, and the market can see exactly what's going on with it, what the evidence is, what the comment is from the candidate, and then they can mark it back and do that really quickly, really easily.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, well, that's all good from me then. Just to say thank you for your time in explaining that. I've got pages of notes which I'm now going to go type up, and hopefully, there's a way forward for prospects to work with the Best Practice Network and maybe take this forward. So I appreciate your time.